guys? It's Calvin and Gerry back again with another episode.
Howdy.
Today we're at a
Super secret
cigar shop, real close to the office, but we have some nice cigars here. We're going to kind of go over some quick tips of how to be successful in the life insurance industry, coming from no sales and coming from sales.
Yep.
Does that work?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So I'll kind of let you kick it off. Everybody kind of knows like where our backgrounds and stuff, but like just give a brief for people that have never seen this before, like a quick down and dirty rundown of like what you're doing before.
Yeah. So I sold cars for 10 years in Austin. Then I did door-to-door alarms for 4 years, and I dabbled in solar for a little bit. And then I found life insurance, and it's my 6th month in the business now.
6 months in the business. In the last 6 months, how much insurance have you sold?
Oh man, I was not prepared for that. But last month I paid $42,000.
Okay.
My best month before that was $37,000.
Okay.
So
probably over 100 grand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
I'm over 100 grand, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. And my name's Calvin. Again, for you guys that don't know me, been in the business for April will be my 4th year in the business. Every year I've been here, sold 500 grand. Before this, I was jumping out of airplanes in the Army, running around and playing in the woods, basically. So no sales experience. But which just goes to show, as long as you have a good work ethic, you can make it anywhere in any business. The reason that I picked life insurance sales or financial services is simply just because of the way that the pay structure. You get paid extremely well. People that are motivated, work hard, that don't need a lot of micromanaging, that have great discipline, typically do like the best here because they don't need someone over their shoulder to make a really good living. The system's in place, follow the system, plug in the training, and you go out there and just sell insurance, make a ton of money doing it. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you get paid what you're worth here. You know, there's no cap.
Yeah, and the commission structure is the most competitive in any type of sales commission-based dealio, right? But really, what we want to talk about today is going to be, we were running this series on veteran script training, objection script training, but what I've noticed lately is we've been doing also a lot of tons of role play at the office,
right? Which
we just released to you guys in the last episode. But today we're going to go over just a few quick rapid fire objections, and then we'll talk about a little bit of different types of leads and kind of walk you guys through the different types of leads, how much they cost, where to get them from, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
cool. You want to start?
Sure. Give you an objection.
Yep.
Okay. I need to talk this over with my wife.
Awesome, yeah. So my job today here, Gerry, is going to be super simple. It's just to help you figure out the different options available. And number one, obviously, it has to fit the budget. Number two, you do have to get approved for it. So based on the options I went over, do you want to start with the 10,000 or the 20,000?
I'd probably be the 10,000.
The 10,000? Okay. So what I'm going to do, Gerry, real quick, is I'm going to pull up the application. While I'm doing that, can you go ahead and grab your driver's license? We'll knock out yours first. And then obviously, once the wife approves it, which I'm sure nothing's going to go, I'm sure that she's definitely going to approve it. It's going to be there for you guys, regardless of the fact. You said that you needed it. You know you needed it. So outside of that, we can knock her application out as soon as that we get her on the phone. We'll go through hers together.
Okay. Got it. Your turn.
Okay, cool. Honestly, I just want to think about it.
Hey, I completely understand. We want to make sure that you have all the data to make an informed decision. Now, let me ask you this. When you say you want to think about it, do you need to think about whether or not you need a policy or just which package to go with?
Okay, it's probably just, which package to go with.
Again, completely understand. It's good to think about the things. Now, when you say you want to think about which package, okay, do you mind if I give you my professional recommendation?
Yeah, sure.
So what I see most of the time with people in this similar situation as yourself is they're thinking about which package. What I always recommend is go with the lowest package that 100% is affordable, because the easiest thing is to add more coverage. The most important thing is to get coverage in the first place. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to apply for the bronze package or ABC package, the lowest package, and we're going to get that in place because I'm sure you would agree some coverage is better than no coverage. So we'll get that in place, and then down the road, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or 2 weeks from now, when you decide if you wanted to raise it up, you could always give me a call back and we could always add more coverage, okay? So I just need to confirm the spelling of your name. That's CALVINWRIGHT. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect. And then confirm your date of birth and so on and so forth.
Cool. All right. Another objection.
I don't. I think it's just a little bit out of my budget.
Oh, really? Okay. So out of the three options, which option's out of your budget?
I think the top two. I think the lowest one is probably most of my budget, but then you get the least amount of coverage, and I kind of want a little bit more coverage for that amount.
Oh, definitely. So the good thing about this, Jerry, is that life insurance is completely state regulated, which means it's all universally priced. The biggest difference between all the carriers is obviously just going to be the different types of medications they accept, which would affect which policy you could get approved for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jerry, you told me earlier that you don't have anything set up for your family, right?
Correct.
So if you die tomorrow, what happens to who's going to have to pay for the funeral, and what does that look like?
It would be my wife.
Okay.
I'm not sure what we would do, what she would do.
But you guys are both receiving Social Security?
Yeah.
Okay.
And disability, yeah.
And you're check to check pretty much? You don't have any money saved up?
I mean, I have a couple thousand, but not anything to write home about.
Okay. If your income gets shut off tomorrow whenever you pass away and she keeps the higher Social Security amount, is she going to be able to maintain the same lifestyle that you guys have with all the bills that you have?
No, definitely not.
Okay. So then it's probably fair to say that it's probably easier to come up with $40 a month for the 10,000 than it is to come up with $10,000 overnight. Is that probably true?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And so, Jerry, what we can do today is we can start with the $10,000. We can always bump it up, assuming your income goes up or your bills go down.
Mm-hmm.
But having something is better than nothing.
Right.
So, is the 10,000 going to be comfortable for you budget wise?
I mean, it's something we could stretch and do.
The 10,000?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like stretching anybody's budget. So maybe let's just cut it in half to the 7,000. This one's like, $42 a month. Is that going to be comfortable for you?
Yeah, that'll be a little bit better.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, Jerry, is I'm going to get this application pulled up for me real quick. Go ahead and grab your driver's license so I can go through this with you, okay?
Okay. Got it. Perfect.
All right. So the biggest key thing there is, re-explaining, you've already captured the why, but re-explaining it and having it mean much more than it actually is. If you just say $7,000 for $42, and you tie nothing to it, it really doesn't mean anything. Same thing whenever you're selling equity protection. If you're selling someone that's super unhealthy, a $20,000 policy for $200 a month because of their health and their age and all that stuff, it means a whole lot more if they have a couple $100,000 in equity that they're trying to protect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why it's super important that you do dig even deeper in the why. So you can have more, I hate to say ammo for down the line, but just as good a reminder to them. Remember when you said earlier, this would be the scenario. Well, it's good to ask those questions so that later down the road, when you get some objections, you can actually bring that information back that they shared with you.
Yeah. And then let's do one more objection is which typically I don't think that we get too often, but I know some people probably do, which is going to be a banking objection. I don't feel comfortable giving that out over the phone.
Yeah, listen, I completely understand. You can't be too careful these days. What the carriers want to do is they want to make sure that we're able to also pay for the policy, that you have a good method of payment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, nothing is going to get drafted unless you get approved. And that way, you won't have to worry about any funds going missing. And then one other thing that we could do is if you wanted to see everything in writing first, is we can actually schedule out your payment. So it takes 7 to 10 business days for the packet to be sent in the mail. So we can schedule out your payment for 2 weeks. Your first premium to be drafted for 2 weeks. That gives you plenty of time for the packet policy to arrive in the mail. You can read it over, see that everything is legit, and then go from there. Now, I have the routing number from your Bank of America as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 times out of 10, it's correct, but that one time it is off. Can you confirm that for me?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, perfect. And what's the account number associated with that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Boom, perfect. One of the important things with overcoming objections is not waiting for them to respond again, right? You overcome the objection and then you just continue with it. You just assume the rest and you just keep moving with the script.
Yeah, that's solid. Now let's talk a little about building a team. Building a team in this business, you don't have to build a team to be successful in this business. You can make a shitload of money just selling on your own personal pin. But unless you want to sell life insurance forever, you have to build a team and build a business.
Right.
With that being said, you've been in sales for a long time, so you've built more teams than I've probably ever built in my whole life. Tell me a little bit about the importance of building a team, how to build a team, where to find people, and the benefits of building a team.
Yeah. So again, like you said, it's important to build a team because if you don't, you don't have to. But if you don't, you're the one that's going to be having to do all the sales for the rest of your life, right? So the importance of building a team is the residual income. Okay. Now, you don't get to just make money off of people. You still have to teach the people. You have to coach the people. You have to train the people. And you still have to do all the managing. So it's still, some would say, it's even more work than just selling life insurance.
Oh,
right?
for sure, it's more work.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what makes it so important is that you do eventually get to the point where you start to, you don't have to necessarily sell life insurance anymore or sell any of the product. And you still have that residual income, right? Because everybody is moving and grooving. Now, the past, and I did door to door, we had like 35 to 40 people on my team. It was the way that I recruited was all word of mouth. It was just like recruiting people, helping them make money, and then having them share their story, and then their friends would hear about it, and then they would come on their own. And then also some social media as well. That's the biggest key is like social media these days. Everybody's on social media, whether it's Instagram or TikTok. For me, mostly it's like Instagram.
Okay.
But the way I was able to do it before was everything through Instagram and then just word of mouth. The hardest part is hiring somebody, helping them make money, and then once they change money, because you get people that were working like 9 to 5 jobs or just getting paid hourly, and now they're getting paid $3, $4, $5,000 a week selling. That's the best form of advertising. Those people are the ones that are going to go and do all the recruiting, and then they start to make residual income, and then it's just it's once you start that, you get that inertia going. It's hard at first, but once that inertia starts to get going, it's like the snowball effect. It just starts to go and go, and before you look, you're like, wow, I have 20 people on my team now, 25 people, 30 people on my team.
Yeah, no, and like the biggest thing here is like you're not making, like, all the money comes from the insurance company at the end of the day. So like when you're building out your business and your structure of your business, there's a promotion guideline chart that's public information that explains how you get promoted, how your builder's contracts work, how you build spread, and all the bonuses that come along with that.
Yeah,
I would say like the average agency builder probably makes $500 to $1 million a year, and then like the top 1% probably make anywhere from $1 to $5 million a year or more.
Yeah.
So it's, if you're young, hungry, and you're money motivated, like building a business is probably the best possible way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you prove the model by selling, teach the model by recruiting and training, and then rinse and repeat.
Absolutely. And how many people you have on your team now?
50. We had 50 writing agents last
How
month.
long did it take you to get to that? So obviously you've been doing this for 5 years, but like,
Yeah, I've been 4 years next month will basically be like the total distance. I've rebuilt it twice because when we switched from in-person to virtual, I had a lot of people fall off, and so like the road to like 350 a month was pretty tough for me particularly.
Yeah.
But now we just busted like that 500, and we're kind of like starting to build some serious momentum. Spreads, I have quite a few good, like, super solid legs that are building and growing and recruiting.
Right.
And fresh blood in the business is always important. So you always have to have like Zach always taught me, like, hey man, you always have to have fresh recruits coming in, because people are going to fall off, even if they're top producers.
Right.
They're going to fall off of it. Like if they're not always going to fall off if they're making money, but like if they have like a major life event or something out of the ordinary happens, like that could be a thing. So like recruiting constantly has always been a number one thing for us, and having a fresh pipeline there. Like my warm market wasn't like super deep, so the only way to find quality people was through cold market recruiting, which is like Indeed ads, ZipRecruiter, Instagram posts, boosting stuff online, and then find one really quality person and then tap into their warm market, and then so on and so forth.
And then you said too, like earlier, the money comes from the carrier, so you don't have to worry about doing payroll stuff.
No.
You don't have to worry about doing all this. Like, what's your overhead compared to like? So, for example, if you don't mind me asking, telling the camera how much like you're grossing as your business, and then how much of that is like overhead versus like any other business. Like you wanted to start a restaurant, like how much capital you need to start a restaurant, how much capital you need to start like a cigar shop or any kind of business compared to this.
Oh, that's a great question. So I think last month we grossed 78,000 as an organization for my business, for my team personally, and then I think last month we spent 25 grand on overhead, so leads, staffing, ads, systems and processes, all the stuff that takes to run a business. There's only so many things you can spend money on in this business, really. So there's not a lot of like dead waste that you can pretty much get absorbed by. So last month was a really solid month. That was our best month ever in terms of like net
So
income.
in 1 month. So you kept the 50 grand basically, like just
Yeah.
That's
Net.
crazy.
Yeah. And then like I would say like beforehand when I was just getting rolling, I was putting so much money into the business to try to get it off the ground.
Right.
You know, I was writing 40K, I was depositing like 36, and I was spending probably like 28.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like
I was not.
I'm there
netting,
right now.
I was not netting a lot in the beginning, but like as time, you know, your net your expenses can only go so far. Like even when you're at like a couple $1 million a month, like there's only so many things you can spend money on: staff, ads, recruiting, leads, systems and processes, and agents. Like it really doesn't get much deeper than that.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing journey. But like, what would you say? Like you said at your level right now, which I completely know it's a grind of a level. It just takes some time. But like,
getting
what
that
would you
inertia
say?
going.
Yeah. What would you say? Like your guys is like, what do you bring in per month? What are you spending? What are you netting?
Last month I wrote 42. I deposited because a lot of the deals I wrote were for like future pay, so I've deposited 29 and a half grand.
Mm-hmm.
I spent on leads 13 about 6 grand a month on leads.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of staff. I don't have any staff right now. Well, I do have one dialer, but that's very minimal. It's $450 a month.
Yeah.
And then I have like the Ringy app.
Yeah.
I pay for 2 Ringy apps. It's like $300 a month. So like 6. About 8 grand is what my monthly expenses are.
Yeah.
And I deposit 29, so I kept 21.
Yeah.
Of it. But yeah, I can't wait to have those big months like you.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take. And one thing that I think I was talking with Zach about earlier, somebody I can't remember who, but it doesn't take a ton of people to like have a super profitable business. It just takes spread, and it takes quality people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you get that, like our average agent probably does. If I took 10 grand a month, basically, you have people that are in the bottom half of that probably do like 1 to 8 grand a month, and you have the top producers, doing 20 plus, right, probably. But not everybody's gonna be a top producer, and not everybody's gonna be a bottom level producer. It's gonna be a mix of everybody. You just got to find the right people.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, like, is there anything that you're looking forward to this year in terms of business growing, or things that you're gonna add in? Are you gonna add any type of recruiting spend? Are you gonna add anything different into your business to try to like blow past that bubble?
Yeah. So I'm looking to start doing more social media posts. With Caleb, who started that group chat with us today, maybe flying in a videographer that he knows, and having at this next lock-in that we're gonna have, where Sean Mike's coming, do like a vlog type of video, and clip that and use that, because I have been getting like a lot of messages on Instagram about joining the business, so I'm excited about that. And then like some of my recruits already starting to get recruits too.
Cool.
And then it's crazy, seeing them do that. So that's what I'm excited about, like what the growth is going to look like for myself, but then also the people that I bring in, and then them bringing in more people too. Like it's more satisfying seeing them win than myself a lot of times.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, and then just seeing what comes from there.
That'd be awesome. And then like if anybody maybe was looking to join your team, right? What would you tell them? Like a couple things that they need to have to be able to work with you.
They need to have work ethic, and they need to be coachable. Okay, because if you come in thinking that you know everything, especially if you've been in sales, and you think you know everything, you definitely don't, right? Like I had 14 years of sales experience before I came in here, and I came in with an empty cup. I listened to everything that everybody told me.
Yeah.
So you have to be 100% coachable. You can't try to reinvent the wheel. Too many times people come in, they think, oh, I'm going to do it this way. And it's like, dude, it's like this for a reason, right? You're not, everyone thinks they're super smart. You're not smarter than people that have already done it. Plenty of people have already tried.
Yeah.
Stick to the script. And then the work ethic, because even though this is remote and you don't, when I did door to door, I had to walk up and down neighborhoods and knock on doors.
Yeah.
So that was like, torture. Even though here you're in an office in the AC, you still have to put in the hours, right? You still have to do the dials, and you still have to be able to put in the work. So yeah, you don't have to go anywhere. You can be from an office, you can be from your house, but you still have to put in the hours. You can't do this part time and then like you can't work a 9 to 5 and make entrepreneur money. You know,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's like that saying says, you know, I got tired of working a 9 to 5, so I became an entrepreneur and I work 24/7. It's kind of like that.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was like this past couple of days, it's been like super swamped, and I remember looking at the clock. I was like, all right, I got to the office at I think like 8:30. I was on the computer on the phone literally all day. Drove home, got home at like 7:30, ate dinner, and then showered, and then I was back on the computer and on my phone until I think 9:30 or 10.
Yeah.
I was like sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes it's a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I think I did more 12-hour days than I do now. But like, dude, in the beginning, I would leave the house at 7 and I would get home at 10 p.m.
Jesus. Yeah.
for 6 days a week for a freaking year.
Yeah.
2 years. And then, dude, once we went virtual, like it's a game changer. Like there's nothing else like it. Like you don't need a driver's license. You don't need to have a car to make money.
Exactly. That I was thinking about door to door. Like, you know, if we had an office location here and someone lived out at Pflugerville and they didn't have a car, well, someone will have to go get that person and then take them to the area or figure something out, right? Because, you know, you'd get dropped off in the neighborhood, but you have to get to a central location where everybody could meet and go. So, and here you don't have to do that. You can do it everywhere.
Yeah, and like the leads, like having leads makes like the leads are the lifeblood of this business, and leads cost money. So you have to be able to produce, to be able to keep getting more leads, you know. And the lead flow is the cash flow, which is obviously the lifeblood of this business. So if you don't have any money for leads, like, you know, we can reach out, we can talk about it. But like I would say maybe a couple key things if you're thinking about getting in the life insurance space would be find a good mentor that you can connect with. Second piece of that is be willing to work 40 hours plus a week. The third thing is like what Gerry said, is be coachable. And then the fourth thing is you can't be scared of rejection. Like people are going to tell you no, people are going to hang up on you. The cool thing about all of that is that they can't hurt you, and it's through the phone.
Instead of slamming the door in their face too.
Yeah.
The thing when I first started, like buying the leads and paying for all these leads and stuff, like it's when you're getting into something like you basically we're 1099, right? We're contractors.
We're 100% 1099.
So the way the mind shift that I had to do to be able to like comprehend purchasing leads was, if I wanted to start a business, like name any kind of business,
Restaurant,
a pizza shop, restaurant, anything else, just because you open it doesn't mean people are going to start coming in. You have to now spend money to advertise.
Yeah.
Right? You have to spend money on the lease, the building. You have to spend money on all of the ingredients to make the pizza. You have to spend money on the employees that are going to be there. And when you open the door, you have to be thousands of dollars deep before you even turn a profit. Before the first customer shows up, you had to have already paid for the lease. You had to pay for the insurance. You had to pay for the staff. You had to pay for all the ingredients to make the pizza. You had to pay for all the material. You had to pay for advertising and all these things. So it's like, okay, when you think about it now, like, okay, I spent $1,300 on leads a week. If I want to start any other kind of business, man, I'm getting a discount. You know, it's way cheaper than a food truck. Like, how much money you need? How much capital do you need to start a food truck? Yeah. You know, and with this, you don't need to buy leads right away. We have like some programs that work for people, but like what other industry can you do that?
Yeah, like you're basically saying, hey, I'm gonna trade some skill and time to be able to get better at this. Put $2,000 in the leads a week, and if I sell $10,000 a week and I net, 6 to 7, how many times can I do that? Right?
Yeah. Like, how fast can I do that? Right.
And nobody's going to promise you're going to do that day one, and you may not even do that ever. It just depends on your ability to learn, scale, and be coachable and reapply the methods that are being taught on a daily basis. And then one of the things too, I think I forget to hit on it because I just assume people are going to do it, which is not like a good, I guess, like bad leadership there, would be you have to do continued education on your own. Like once you're done working for the day, once you're done dialing, go on YouTube, look stuff up, research stuff, read papers, learn about products, learn how to do e-apps, like train yourself. Like you're independent contractors. Nobody's going to be like, hey dude, you probably should watch these videos on how to do the app, or you should go and practice doing e-apps. Like that's for you to do on your own. You know?
Yeah.
That's like like when you join the Army and like let's say you pass basic training, you get to your unit, like they're gonna force you to do PT every day, But that's not enough to make sure that you're like maxing out your PT test and you're absolutely crushing it or doing the best. Like it's your job to go to the gym on your own after work and improve yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I think that delays how long someone's successful in the business because nobody told you to go on YouTube and start searching stuff, right?
No.
Nobody told you to go and make content. Nobody told you to do like half the set that you do. You just did it because you take the initiative to do things. And if you don't know something, you just go ask.
Right.
And if someone's too busy to ask, what do? Google it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like you have a cell phone at your fingertips. Everybody has a cell phone at their fingertips. If I don't know an answer that pops in my head, which drives my wife nuts because we'll be driving down the road and I'm like, oh shit, why is that house white or whatever, right? She's like, I can't keep Googling all this stuff for you while you're driving. But like just like stuff like that, like you just like become the master of Google and research. Like knowledge is power, and if I don't know something, I immediately want to learn it or understand it or be able to talk about it because I don't want to feel stupid whenever someone asks me about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the keys of things that Spark is like, even if you think about it in the office, right? Like we have training twice a day in the office, right? So we do like the 9 a.m. script training for about 15, 20 minutes, and then we do objection training at 1 o'clock for 15 to 20 minutes. In the grand scheme of things, that's not enough fucking training. You know, like to get really good at something. Obviously,
45 minutes a day, like come on.
Yeah, so like you have to be able to like do it on your own as well. Now, granted, like this is sales. You learn a lot by actually doing the things.
Yeah.
But then like you have to like refine the small details and add more tools to your repertoire.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to do that outside of work, right? Like you have to either in the morning watch podcasts or listen to stuff like when I first started. Even now, like instead of when I go to the gym, instead of like listening to music or anything else, I'll put on like Family First Live videos and like the one that said, how did I sold 50 grand in my first month? Well, fuck, let me listen to that so I can do that too.
Yeah.
Right? And so like instead of listening to music, like I don't listen to music on my car anymore. Unless like a short drive where like I can't put on a podcast. Like to the gym, but like I'll listen to videos. How do I do this? How do I do that? I'm one of the things too, like I spent time outside, like when I'm like laying in bed, I read the underwriting guidelines. So
dude,
now,
that thing's a gold mine.
It is. Like now, like off the top of my head, when someone tells me, oh, this person has this, and that, oh, this carrier, this, and that, you know, like you can doing that off of memory and like just remember is key.
Dude, I love that you brought that up because we'll end with this. But when I first joined, there was no insurance toolkits. There was none.
Damn.
And I don't know who made it, but there was this underwriting guideline that literally had every carrier lined up in a box with all the conditions on this side, and you would just search the condition, find the carrier, and it would tell you what it would be, right?
Yeah. Declined, approved, graded.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it was probably 55 pages, and I printed it out and I laminated it, and I brought it with me everywhere. And when I was in a house, as soon as the client told me the condition, I would literally just bust that thing open and flip through it like a spiral, like a phone book. And I would just find it, boom, 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 boom. I know where to go. And I did that so many times that I just memorized everything.
Yeah.
And eventually I just never took it out of my bag anymore.
Yeah.
And then insurance toolkits came out and I was like, I don't freaking need this. Like I already know all that. I already know the answers. But now people are just so lazy, they just punch it in there. They don't actually know why they're doing what they're doing.
Right.
Which is why Gerry knows exactly where to go without using the toolkits. And he only uses the toolkits for probably pricing.
Yeah. There's like one-off things. Like I had someone who was a quadriplegic. Like, okay, fuck, that was the first time I've come across that. Let me look this up.
Yeah, wheelchair bound.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then last thing here before I pass over to you to close this out, it would be I like using this analogy. Okay, if you go to you've never been to the gym before, but you go to the gym and you only lift heavy things, eventually you're gonna get stronger, right? Mm-hmm. But if you don't research on like how to develop certain muscles, nothing's gonna get bigger, or you're never gonna outperform any one category.
Right.
Same thing with running. Like you can go out there and just run 1,000,000 miles. But that doesn't mean that it's going to make you faster. You have to do like additional like sprints and all these other things to do it.
Right.
So the insurance business is the same exact way, just like any other skill that you would learn. You have to get good at the skill first by doing lots of repetitions and kind of mess things up a little bit and be a little messy. And then you get better and you sell more by refining small things over the course of a long period of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with that, Gerry, you want to close this out?
Yes, sir. Look out for our new episodes. We're going to try to come out with at least 2 or 3 a week. If you guys have anything, you guys have questions you guys have about life insurance or Family First Life, or anything you guys want to ask us, please reach out to us in the comments. Reach out to Calvin on social media or myself. Calvin, what's your Instagram?
Just Calvin Wright with 2 T's.
Cool. And I'm at The Aftermath Financial. Let us know what else kind of information you guys want to know, any kind of tips you want us for the next kind of videos. And we'll see you guys there.